And the voice of the people is the voice of God. My name Black Rasta. This is the voice of the Patriot. And here we don't criticize. But if we must criticize, we'll do it on only one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country, and speaking the minds of the people. Oh my God. And reiterating the energy of the people is synonymous with speaking the mind of God. This is the voice of the Patriot. We are the hardest hitting, my brother, my sister. And at the same time, we are the most decorous and the most temperate. I want to say thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you and I love you. This is the voice of the Patriot. And today we have just a few issues to look at. And I intentionally decided to look at these issues today. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is taken from Ghana Web, my brother, my sister, and it says, "Please reconsider me. I am not a bad person." And this is McBrown appealing to the U.S. Embassy. My brother, my sister, we all know McBrown, don't we? We all know McBrown as an actress and at the same time a TV personality. She has a very checkered history, moving through things, yes, getting into all the glamour. She's gone through a lot, my brother, my sister. Now, in this story, she tells a tale of how her uncle tried to take her outside the country, in fact, to the United States of America specifically. Well, some documents might not be right. Some things happened in violation of U.S. immigration laws. And for that matter, she was banned, my brother, my sister, from entering America. Now, at the time that she wanted to go to America, probably it was that time when she was truly struggling with life. Now, life has smiled back at her, and she can travel all over the world except to go to the United States of America. She sees America as a very, very, very wonderful place. At the end of the day, she can go to England, she can go to Canada, she can travel all the way to Dubai, she can go to Egypt, she can go to any country in the world except America. And we know how powerful America is. Now, the thing about America is this: when you are banned from going to America, all the alliances of America also ban you. In other words, if America is friends with some countries and affiliated to America in one or two ways, you would also be banned from going to those countries. Now, Ama McBrown granted an interview to Bolare, and in that interview, she took the opportunity to appeal to the American embassy to please tamper justice with mercy. My brother, my sister, and in this story, she says, please reconsider your decision and do not send me away. Now, let's look at a few lines from this story. Please reconsider me. I am not a bad person. McBrown appeals to the U.S. Embassy over visa ban. Renowned Ghanaian actress and media personality Ama McBrown has appealed to the United States of America Embassy in Ghana to reconsider a visa ban. It can be recalled that in March 2023, she revealed that she was deported from America in 2001. So you see the facts. Deported from America after her uncle, Papa Kofi McBrown, attempted to take her there due to her talents. Despite her efforts to obtain visas for various countries, including Libya, she said she was denied an American visa and faced rejection from her family. Speaking in an interview with broadcaster Bolare, McBrown, in her plea, asked the embassy to consider her records and her genuine intentions. I will beg them to please reconsider me. Look at my records. I'm not a bad person. I've never been a bad person because I really know what I have done and I want to correct it, she said. She also highlighted the fears and anxieties many Ghanaians feel when approaching the embassy. And listen to what she said. This is the most interesting part of it all. This thing about Ghanaians, when we are going to the embassy, we are very scared. We start shaking, and for that matter, we keep lying. Sometimes we feel like when we see a white person and we don't get the visa, we are going to die. Or the person will kill us. Because of that, we always keep losing or missing our chances. It's very disappointing to read something like this. So disappointing. Now, looking at the pedigree of Ama McBrown, she's achieved a lot for herself. She's somebody who is celebrated in so many quarters in Ghana. And these are the utterances coming from her. It's anti-Pan-Africanism and anti-black. It's most unfortunate. Now, we live in a country, my brother, my sister, where everybody wants to fly out. When we see white people, we see God. Why should we be going to the embassy and be shaking and start lying? Why? And she says, when you see a white man and you don't get the visa, it's like you are going to die. Why? My brother, we live in a country that used to be called the Gold Coast. With all the gold that we had and still have. With all the precious stones we still have. With all the wonderful leaders that we have had and paraded in this great nation. At a point we were called the gateway to Africa, and still that resonates with many. My brother, my sister, this is the greatest land of Pan-Africanism the world over, not even America. It's a country whose leaders have failed it. It's so unfortunate. What the hell is it? When I go to the American embassy and I don't get a visa, is it synonymous to committing suicide? Is it synonymous, my brother, my sister, to hanging myself? We say when we meet white people, we start shaking, inferiority complex, and then we start lying. That was what happened to her. She saw white people and started shaking and lying. She got the chance to go to America and she was deported. She wasn't very open to us about why exactly she was deported. After all, she thinks she should keep that, but only say it to the American embassy. Let's get a little bit more serious. Come in, come closer. Watch this. Now, if McBrown really wanted to give a genuine apology, I think that she should have told us and the American embassy exactly what she did, so that that would serve as a deterrent to all of us. True? Oh, I went to the American embassy and lied. My uncle told me to lie. Oh, I decided to lie like this. I got to America, stayed there for about this number of days or years. Oh, I got there, they did not allow me entry and therefore sent me home. Deportation is different from denial of entry. But she says deportation, it means she entered America and then she stayed there for some time before she was sent back home. What point is Black Rasta trying to make? Please, this inferiority complex must stop. America is not heaven. You have a beautiful country. You are celebrated in your country. Help make your country another America or better than America. And you have the chance to do that. In all these movies we see, 99% are all talking about witchcraft and how we hate each other and killing each other. Why would the American want you in his country? You have the opportunity to tell the real African story. But all these movies are all about witchcraft. How we are killing each other. If you have a visa and you are going to America, don't tell anybody. Or there's some witch in your family who would make sure that your visa turns into air. How can you tell such a story and want to enter America? You think the Americans like witchcraft? You think the Americans like people who have inferiority complex? And I'm not speaking to McBrown alone. I'm speaking to everybody who has that mentality. Look at the very massive film industry we had, coming all the way from Kumasi. They killed it with foolishness and nonsense. Insulting each other night and day. The best actors were those who could insult the most. True or false? Ejako and the rest of them, they made their name by insulting each other in movie. True or false? If it's wrong, tell me so I apologize. We have the opportunity to make Ghana yet another America or even better. But we blow it away and then we sit back and then we want to beg white people and make them look like demigods so that we can follow them. Please, this inferiority complex must die. Imagine Ama McBrown begging for a visa to go to America. My brother, my sister, how about her fans? Those who see her as a role model. You know what their mind is going to be? Say, man, America, just say, my yira. True or false? This is what I'm talking about. My brother, listen, I was denied an American visa before. Years back. I put it in my box and went to sleep. Interestingly, the Americans chased me and shook hands with me and asked me to come and visit their country. First time I went to England, it was the same thing. British High Commissioner asked me if I wanted to go to his country and check out the things. I said, I will think about it. Give me time. When he arrived in Accra, he called again after a few weeks. Have you made up your mind now? My brother, to beg for an American visa, my brother, my sister, it's not humility. It is inferiority complex. I love Ama McBrown. She has moved from being a nothing to a something, just like some of us do, to sit openly on TV and beg for American visa. I think it's a shame. Why don't you write a petition to the American embassy and tell the American embassy that, listen, I did this, but I am a better person. I need you to check out my records and be able to see ABCD. Employ a lawyer to also do that. But to sit on TV, on radio, and beg the American embassy, you are aiding more people to exit the country because all their celebrities are begging for visas, so they would all go and beg for visas. Have I made sense? Have I made sense? I'll leave it here. Now the next thing I want to look at, it looks like we're looking at a lot of entertainment issues today. Watch this. And this one is also from Ghana Web, and it says, we need less big head and more facts. Shatawale drags Stonebwoy over Grammy article omission. Reggae dancehall artist Shatawale has reacted to concerns raised by colleague musician Stonebwoy about not being featured in an article on hip life artists. Stonebwoy has expressed his concerns about not being mentioned in an article listing Ghanaian musicians who had made an impact on the hip life genre in Ghana. Although netizens pointed out that the article was specified to hip life artists only, Stonebwoy remained adamant in his claim that he should have been included. Shatawale, however, known for his outspoken nature, did not hold back his reply. In a post on X on August the 23rd, 2024, Shatawale urged Stonebwoy to reduce his ego and allow credit to be given to those due. How are you gonna demand a shout out in a hip life article when you didn't even get the memo back then? Somebody needs to deflate this ego a bit. Let's give credit where it's actually due. Stonebwoy, we need less big head and more facts. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I checked it too. I checked it out. Stonebwoy wrote on X that whoever wrote that article was very ignorant of the ongoings in the industry in Ghana. Seen? And What did the article say? It credited people like Root Eye, see, and said, hey, Root Eye, he was one of the pioneers of dancehall right here in Ghana. And they mentioned Samini. And then they mentioned Shatawale. And then they branched into hip life and also talked about Reggie Rockstone. And even with that, they said there was rap in Ghana. And mentioned Ambule for his 1970s rap, Simiwa. But somewhere in the 1990s, rap hit the coast of this country. And boom, so many Ghanaians latched onto it. And it gave birth to hip life as named by Reggie Rockstone. My brother, my sister, I saw that article as a refreshing article. Yes, if there's anything we have to do, we need to also be able to correct a few things. That is, to be able to keep the history straight. Is that correct? But let me look at this. If you are talking about hip life in Ghana, Reggie Rockstone's name will come number one. And I'm glad it mentioned it. Right? Now, when you talk about hip life in Ghana, Lord Kenya, or Bravo, and the others helped to revolutionize it. Right? But the grandfather or the godfather of hip life, we all say is Reggie Rockstone. Even though a few years back, some people refuted it, even the naming of the thing and so on and so forth. But the man stood firm and was able to hold on to his legacy. Maybe that is what Stonebwoy is doing. But let's see if Stonebwoy deserves to be mentioned in the beginnings of dancehall and also hip life. I have never seen Stonebwoy as a hip life artist. I don't know if he even has hip life songs. Because in the days of hip life, Stonebwoy was still young and teething and did not actually hold on to the microphone of hip life. In fact, Stonebwoy, as I knew him, some of the earliest songs that he ever recorded were reggae and dancehall. I don't think that Stonebwoy is asking to be named in the book of hip life. That's not what I think. Now let us look at dancehall. Now they looked at the pioneers of dancehall in Ghana. And you know who they mentioned? They mentioned Root Eye. Is Root Eye deserving of being called a pioneer of dancehall? Absolutely yes. The very first dancehall song in Ghana, by my standards, was done by you, Root Eye. Sweetie, sweetie, found Sabbath to me come. When I'm Shantina Maya come. It's a Jamaican flow. The melody is actually borrowed from Luciano. But he used it. And Zap Mallet produced it. That was the very first dancehall song we had here. And today I'm going to close with that. My brother, my sister. Now, Shatawale was mentioned. You see, the thing many people don't know, and I know Shatawale is going to be angry with me when I say this. Look, Shatawale is older than Samini. Did you know that? Yes. Shatawale is older than Samini. The age he gives you all these years is his music age, just as some people have football age. Shatawale is a few months older than Samini. And I'm telling you this for a fact. He's not a little boy. He's just handsome and beautiful. My brother, my sister, Shatawale has been in the game for only God knows how long. He was just underground, struggling and suffering. And to God be the glory. He's been able to come up. One day when he writes his book, then you might see his real age and when he was born. I will not mention it, but I can tell you he is older than Samini. Samini doesn't even know this. That's why when he calls Samini Olu, Samini keeps quiet. In one way or the other. He's older than Samini. But he's been able to play the young card, the youth card, and all the youth have been able to come around him. And I want to learn from that. Some of us, we can't say we are 25. There are gray hairs all over us. No matter how much you try to paint your beard and your hair, you still will be pointed out as, hey, Massa, Effie Road. Ewa, my brother, now let's get back to Stonebwoy. When Shatawale started releasing music, Stonebwoy hadn't started. As Stonebwoy was told, Shatta Wale is a contemporary of Samini. They come from the same era, and Samini has said it time and again. But Shatta Wale has played the card. Oh, I'm for the youth. I'm young just like them. He sacks his pants. He dresses like them and tries to do things like them and all that. And they admire him and see him like, he's one of them. But he's actually their father. I think it's a beautiful thing that you can use in marketing. I think if Stonebwoy is not mentioned in the dancehall thing, I think that he should be humble enough. Humble, please. You are doing so much. You are one of the hardest working artists in the world, not only in Ghana. What you have achieved, I couldn't achieve it in your age. No, at your age, I couldn't achieve this thing that you are doing now. And I'm so proud of you. Traveling around the world, performing on several festivals. For me, if you are an artist and you have never played on a festival stage outside, rethink your status as an artist. The festival is where different artists from around the world come together to showcase their talents. When you rub shoulders with these people and still stand out, that is when you call yourself tried and tested. And Stonebwoy has done it. How many Ghanaian artists have done that? But don't be in a hurry to be mentioned amongst legends when you still have many more years to go. Because in Ghana, when you are called a legend, it means they are ready to bury you. Are you aware? Once the youth start calling you legend, it's synonymous with all man, all G. There's nothing like living legend in Ghana. It means all G, you are off the road. Don't be in a hurry to be added into the book of legends. Continue working hard. Look, the accolades will chase you. Humble beginnings beget big futures. Think about it. I leave it here. Now the next thing and the last one I would like to look at, and it's quite interesting. Today I'm not going to look at anything political. Everything is entertainment, and we're going to look at this. Yes. Now there's an interesting thing here, and I need to look at it. Not true. And this from Ghana Web. Dubois Museum Foundation boss refused Ablakwa's allegations of 50-year lease agreement. And when you read the article, it's a very boring article. But let me tell you the content of it. I got a call from some well-meaning Ghanaians telling me that the Bois Center was for sale. And then that they had sold it out to their cronies. And then it came out that it had been leased for 50 years. And I couldn't understand this. So Nana Akufo-Addo has succeeded in selling out the legacy of Kwame Nkrumah, making Kwame Nkrumah look like a villain, trying to box out the heritage of Kwame Nkrumah, to the point that even the friends of Kwame Nkrumah, including Du Bois, are being attacked. Why on earth would the Du Bois Center be looking for investors for 50 solid years? Lessors and lessees. I couldn't get this. I've been to the Du Bois Center. It's a very humble place. Why do you need an investor to come and take care of the place for 50 solid years? The government of Ghana can't do it. The Pan-Africanist Society cannot do it. You need an investor for such a national heritage. Kai, we live in a nation that has his history illiterates. So it is true. Now that the Bois Center has been given out, according to this article, for 30 years on lease, renewable for another 20 years. So the 50 years will come into being. But the point they are making in this article is, even at a point, if we are sacked and we are told to go away, we are not taking any money from the government of Ghana. Why is this government killing our heritage and our history? First, It was trying to kick out Kwame Nkrumah from our history as the founder of the nation. It tried, even in the textbooks. Ghanaians resisted that. Today is Du Bois. Tomorrow it will be Sankara. Another day is going to be some of the wonderful heroes we've had in this country. What is wrong with our people? This government will go down in history as one of the most illiterate, history-wise government, my brother, my sister, this nation has ever seen. And I am so sad. Why on earth should this happen? Why on earth should we be going through this, my brother, my sister? Any which way. My name is Black Rasta, and I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you. It's been the voice of the Patriot, and my name, Black Rasta. I promised that I was going to end this one with the first dancehall song in Ghana. Yabo!